Mason Capwell.
Oh, Mr. Capwell, yes. Miss Wainwright told me to expect you. Said that you might want to see the baby.
Yeah. Julia's not here, huh?
No. She said that she had a lot of work to take care of today, so... Well, Samantha's right over there, and if you'll excuse me, I have some folding to do in the other room.
Sure. Hi there. I don't know if you remember me or not. It's been such a long time. You have grown. And you are beautiful. Hello, Samantha. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Did you know that you're one of the things that kept me going? Wanting to watch you grow up? Mm-hmm. And if I have anything to say about it, I will never be away that long again. You are an angel.
Well, I guess a tennis court isn't absolutely necessary since we will belong to the country club, but I think a pool would be nice. What do you think?
I think I'm going to need another job when I finish with this investigation to pay for all this.
You don't really have to go back to the office right now, do you?
No, I have to go to the funeral parlor for Elena.
That sounds like fun. Elena?
Yeah, well, Eleanor, Elena. Elena, oh, dang darn, who can keep track of this? I'm coming.
Like the bar and so much. Bring this right over to you, Mr. Simmons.
Thank you. Oh, boy, I hope we hit the jackpot.
Who's the safe deposit box?
Eleanor, Elena, you know, the late loony. This is gonna finally do it.
Just what is it that you expect to find?
Nails.
Nails?
Yeah, nails for Cruz's coffin.
It hurts me to see you sitting in that chair. I hope you know I'd give my life if I could change things for you. I know that if I were there for you, if I was the father I should have been, you wouldn't be in the chair. All I can ask is that you forgive me. Please, forgive me.
Cruz killed me, Daddy. Daddy! Daddy! Daddy? Daddy?
Oh. Yeah, darling, I'm fine. I'm fine. I fell asleep reading the paper, I guess.
You look exhausted.
No, I'm fine. Brought the pictures, huh?
Yeah, I have the album right here, but why do you want to look at these pictures right now?
Well, I just felt after everything that's happened, I wanted to get all the family pictures together, that's all.
Well, you know what? I found one in here.
Uh-huh.
Is this the one in? Right here. Would you look at Meyson in that outfit? I mean, I've never seen him look that way. And Pamela, I mean, she sure was beautiful, wasn't she?
Physically, yes.
Well, anyway, here you are. I have to be getting back to the beach house.
Sweetheart, how about you and Cruz? How you holding up, huh?
I don't know. It's all really frustrating. I mean, Daddy, I go over it in my mind, and I still can't come up with any answers. Eleanor tried to kill me and Kelly. She had Meyson kidnapped and tortured.
She hated this family so much that she resorted to murder, and no one knows why. Why? I can't remember a single day that I've ever been so happy. I'm getting married, I'm going to have this baby. And it's all happened in 1 week. I don't suppose you'll have time to go to the doctor's office with me today. It was just a routine examination. They'll probably put me on some special diet and give me those supplementary vitamins and things like that. Listen to me. I sound like one of those women that used to nauseate me. And I love every minute of it. I don't nauseate you, do I?
Yes!
I do?
This'll do it. This'll do it. I'll be able to put Cruz in a cell for a good long time with this.
Listen to you, Daddy. He gets so excited when he's serving the public.
Listen, I gotta go. I'll be back later.
Of course, conjugal devotion's not his strong point, but bliss is over before the wedding's even happened.
I forgot this.
What?
This is a ruby-studded rattler and a designer teething ring.
Ooh.
Baby's gonna come in the world in style.
I know what Timmons is saying, and I don't believe it. I do not believe you killed my daughter, Cruz.
I'm glad to hear it.
She is so beautiful. She had everything, Cruz. She was brilliant. She was beautiful. How? How could something like this happen?
Well, I just don't understand why she hated the Capwells as much as she did.
I don't know. I don't know what went on in her mind. If I knew what went on in her mind, I might have tried to stop it. She felt cheated somehow. I don't understand, Cruz.
Well, certainly not in a material sense. You've been a well...
No, I gave her everything. Everything.
What about her mother? She never
Her
spoke.
mother's dead. I raised her. I loved her. I thought if she just met the right man, that she would finally be happy. I thought you were that man, Cruz.
Did she tell you that?
Oh, you could see it in her eyes when she talked about you. The way she acted when the two of you were together. Oh, you knew. Surely you knew. She loved you, Cruz, so very much.
Alex, she was planning to kill me?
I know you've got a lot of questions. But this isn't the place. It's definitely not the day. Sorry I'm late.
No, it's okay. I didn't expect you to rush your visit with Samantha.
Well, I said I'd be here half an hour ago, so there's no excuse.
No need to explain. I know you haven't seen your daughter for a long time.
You're being very understanding, and I'm grateful.
No, just realistic. So, how was Samantha?
Beautiful. She has this incredible disposition.
Did you meet Mrs. Cobb?
Yeah, she's very devoted to Samantha.
Oh, yeah, I know. Julia really couldn't do without her. She even helps with the housework. In fact, I hear that she's there sometimes when Julia's home.
If you're trying to ascertain whether or not Julia was there when I called, she wasn't.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Good, because if you understand my bond to Samantha, then you'll understand that sometimes when I call on her, Julia will be there.
I know that, and I can handle it.
So anyway, my agent said this morning I had 15 calls from the people that are interested in me since that stunt on the billboard.
Are you kidding? That is great.
Yeah. I mean, at first I thought this modeling thing was just going to be kind of a lark, but now I'm thinking maybe I'll make a career out of it.
Well, whatever you want to do.
Well, look, I mean, it's kind of fun. The money's great. Gives me more time to spend with you. And maybe time to take classes.
Well, I like to hear the sensibility from you. Good.
Well, thanks to you, I'm keeping both my feet on the ground.
Yeah, that's me, Miss Practicality.
Haley, I meant that as a compliment. Now, look, I know you're always lecturing me about being too extravagant, but I want you to make an exception tonight.
Jake, I don't always lecture you about...
Listen, this is very important. I planned this thing for 2 days. It's a surprise, so don't spoil it for me.
I'm not going to spoil it, I promise.
Good. I'll pick you up at 2.
It's pretty early for a date, isn't it?
Yeah. Pack your overnight bag, too.
What are you doing, Morton? You just took me to San Francisco.
I know, listen, this just isn't another whim of mine. I need some time alone with you to talk about the future. Our future.
Sorry to bother you, Doc, but I got a couple questions I gotta ask.
Get out of here, Tibbins.
Listen, I'm not the guy that gunned down your daughter, but I'm trying to find the guy that did.
I can't answer any of your questions.
Well, you want the trail to get so cold I can't find this guy?
Will you please just leave?
Sleeping Beauty. Listen, you know something? You don't answer my questions now, I can put you in jail later. You answer my questions now, I don't have to open that can of worms. What do you want to know? Was your daughter having an affair with Cruz Castillo?
I don't know. We never talked about her love life.
Well, she spent a lot of time with Castillo. I mean, she worked with him. She spent time with him afterwards.
I have no idea what went on between them.
Was Cruz Castillo in love with your daughter?
Isn't that a question you should ask him?
You were her father. Didn't she tell you if she was in love with the guy?
We never discussed her love life.
Well, you're a scientist. You must have a theory. I mean, here she was, young, beautiful, in her sexual prime. And she had hearts for girls.
No.
Well, then what? I mean, what did she tell you she felt for the guy?
She must have felt tender feelings.
Tender feelings, like tender feelings for a dog, that's not good enough.
Service is starting. If you have a shred of decency, get out.
I'm going to have to come back later and ask you a lot of questions. Glad all her friends could make it.
Decided whether or not you're going back to work right away?
For the moment, I'll rejoin the firm.
You know, there's no need to rush into anything, Mason.
I know that, Victoria. Victoria, I think it's only fair you know that from now on, I'm going to live my life the way I think it should be lived.
I would never expect you to do otherwise.
I have in the past. My motivations were unclear even to me. I plotted and manipulated so much and so often, I sometimes lost track of the goal.
Well, you know, you've been through some terrible things the past couple of months. I don't think you should rush into anything. Take time to think it through, Mason.
I will. But you have a right to know that I'm not the same person I was when I left. I hope you can accept that.
Excuse me. Hi, what can I do for you? Actually, I'm looking for a brick wall or some partner. SERIYA.
Gee, I wish I could say I was here on a social visit, but this is really official.
I don't care, man. Get in here, get it done, and get out, okay?
Hachi! Hey, well, I guess I can understand you being a murder suspect and all. I'm not sure I should ask these questions in front of you.
We don't have secrets, Keith.
Oh, that's right. No secrets, no cover-ups. You're the perfect couple. I just slipped my mind.
Fine, ask the questions, will you?
It's more of a theory, so you're going to have to bear with me. Elena Nicholas. Can I call her Eleanor Norris? It's much simpler.
Yeah.
Eleanor Norris arrived in Santa Barbara shortly after Eden's plane went down, and of course, she was presumed dead by you and just about everybody else. Eleanor Norris is beautiful and young, just like Eden, and insinuated her way into your life. And here you were, feeling massive grief and needed Eden's void filled. And maybe even needed to believe that she was still alive. You see, you guys, I found this in Eleanor Norris's apartment. Now, with this on, because I went over to the funeral parlor, she looks a lot like Eden. Maybe that's why you had the affair with her. Or do you deny going to bed with this woman?
I deny it completely. If you recall, I was in the midst of mourning the woman I love.
Oh, well, that's touching. But it doesn't jibe with the evidence.
What, you call that wig evidence?
No, but I call this evidence. I found this in Eleanor Norris's safe deposit box. Yes?
I wrote that letter.
You admit you wrote this to Eleanor?
Yeah. No, I wrote the letter to Eden. I don't know what the hell it was doing in her safe deposit box, except that somebody, as I've tried to point out to you, is trying to frame me.
Oh, well, you know, I admit the greeting just says darling here, but there is one passage in here that makes me think that you didn't write this to Eden. Let me see. Whenever I think of the eagle I saw in the Wasatch Mountains, I think of you, your spirit, your beauty, and your grace. I sniffed around a little bit, and I found out the only time you were in the Wasatch Mountains was after you thought Eden was dead. So, I mean, you wrote this letter to a dead woman?
Keith, I wrote the letter to Eden.
Letter to a dead woman? Interesting. Hard to believe.
After I flew over the area where your plane went down, I came to accept the fact that I would never see your body alive again. And I came back here really frightened that I'd lose touch with your spirit, too, but it didn't happen. It just came on stronger all the time, as if you were calling out to me. I was really losing my mind. I couldn't sleep. And I went back there, darling, just to make some kind of resolution out of it. You know, I didn't even know what, but I just had to say something. Maybe goodbye. I found a piece of the plane. I think it was a wing or something. And I picked a spot, and I told you that I would always remember. But I didn't feel good, you know. As I was leaving, an eagle landed nearby and looked at me for a long time. It was like he was the guardian of your well-being. And I knew that a part of you would never die. Since I came home, I've been writing to you. Before I knew you were alive, I wrote a lot more letters than that one. But I burned them. I had this fantasy that the words going up in smoke. I just wanted to touch you, you know.
You did touch me. It's what brought me home.
I was looking over your records, Gina. That's why I decided to come by in person.
Oh. But you didn't bring your bag or anything.
No, I don't need it. I don't know how to cushion this. I'm afraid there's no way you could be pregnant.
Well, I am. I know that you didn't think it was possible, and neither did Dr. Bartlett. But, well, this is just one of those cases where you were wrong.
I've been wrong before.
See?
But not this time. You're not pregnant, Gina.
I am. I mean, I know I am. I can feel it. I gave myself one of those at-home pregnancy tests, and the liquid turned blue. I can even show it to you.
Those tests are usually very accurate, but in certain circumstances, they don't work.
Look, I don't know if you think this is funny or what, but I don't. You haven't done any tests. You don't know what you're talking about. You see, I even have that glow about me. People have said things, and I haven't told anybody I'm pregnant.
Please, Gina. Try not to make this any more difficult on yourself than it is.
I'm not going to listen to you. Because you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not going to listen to this.
You're experiencing an hysterical pregnancy. I'm sure you heard of that before.
No, I'm not.
It's physically impossible for you to be pregnant.
I felt it. I felt things happening in my body. And I took the test, and I knew it. I just knew it.
I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry.
Is there some kind of operation I could have? Look, I'd go anywhere.
No. I wish I could give you some kind of encouragement, but there is no miracle that can be performed. You'll never be able to have another child. I'm sorry. Would you like me to give you...
No, I want to be alone. Cruz killed me, Daddy. Cruz killed me, Daddy. Daddy, 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 Daddy.
I can't believe you're back. Good to have you home.
It's good to have you home.
I had the situation entirely under control.
So I heard.
You get around pretty well in this.
Yeah, I haven't had any parking problems yet.
Do you know what we went through thinking we'd lost you?
I know what you went through. I know you went all the way out into the desert to find me.
Don't flatter me. There were no heroics involved.
Well, in my eyes, there were. Mason, you risked your life for me. You could have just not paid any attention to those crank calls.
I'm not sure why, but when he told me you were still alive, I believed him. Maybe it's because I wanted to so much. That's behind us. You said you had a question.
I'm scared, Mason. I'm afraid Cruz is going to be blamed for the murder of Eleanor Norris. I would really like for you to defend him.
You know that I love having lunch with you, but I thought when you called that it would be more than a social meeting.
Well, I have every faith in the legal system. Well, let's face it, I'm in a bit of a bind.
What kind of evidence do you have?
Well, it sounds like Keith's up to his old tricks.
Will you defend him?
Of course I will. And you rest easy. I'll make sure any charges Keith piles don't stand.
Thanks, Mason.
Of course I'll represent you.
Well, there's no charges yet, but I mean, it won't be long. He's chomping at the bit.
All right, we'll be ready for him. I'll start constructing a defense right now.
I think we've got a shot. I am innocent.
I know that. And we'll prove that. Cruz, you have to know that Keith is going to come after you with both barrels.
Well, I know, Julia, but I'm not afraid of doing battle with Keith Timmons. I'm used to it.
This time there might be war.
I'll never trust you again.
Oh, Only a couple more steps.
I'm all dizzy.
Okay.
Where am I?
We're here.
Ta-da. Oh, Jane. Are we on a boat? Oh, my, this is beautiful. Is all this for us?
Yep, for tonight. We're on a midnight cruise. We're going to have a beautiful dinner here in our room. Champagne and caviar, of course. Then later on, if you want, we can go upstairs and be with the passengers on the deck or in the disco.
I don't believe you.
Well, I was kind of hoping we wouldn't waste this beautiful room.
Wait. What is this? Look at this. What do you think you do with this?
Well, rub it and find out.
You're kidding. Okay, here we go. What was that? Who was that?
Well, that was your genie, of course. He's here for the whole trip at your service.
Does that mean he'll make all our wishes come true?
Oh, I sure hope so. I've got a real big wish that I might need some help with.
Oh, I'm glad you're back. I wanted to talk to you.
Yes, I wanted to borrow a law book. And by the way, did you get a chance to see Samantha?
Yeah. I can't believe how much she's grown.
Yeah, well, it seems like she gets bigger when I leave in the morning and come back in the evening.
She's a beautiful baby. Looks a lot like her father.
Well, she's got my head of hair.
Yeah, I guess I was right all those months ago when I talked about us producing a spectacular child.
You can come see her whenever you like. Just let me know.
I will. I'm glad we're being so civil about this.
Yeah, well, I'm always very civil. So, what did you want to talk to me about?
Oh, I was wondering if you could take over the Mathers case. Something very important has come up.
I can probably do a little work on it, but I have a new case that I'm starting this afternoon. I'm also looking for a case book 9468. Jenny said that you had it here.
Yeah, it's right here. You can help yourself, but don't lose my place. And I'll need it back as soon as you can.
Thanks. Are you reading Garvin versus Wyoming?
Yeah?
Mason, what's the urgent case that you're working on?
Preparing a defense for Cruz in the Elena Nicholas case.
You're kidding.
Hardly.
Mason, I'm defending Cruz. I just finished having lunch with him.
Eden was just here. I told her I'd handle it.
Well, what are we going to do? We want to flip a coin?
No, we'll both work on it.
I know that you've been gone for a long time, but if you think back, you and I have different approach on legal matters, and we oppose each other on how to handle a case, usually.
That's all the better. If we come at it from every angle, Cruz will get a better defense.
Mason, you have a personal stake in this. Cruz is practically family to you. Don't you think that this will cloud your judgment
Julia,
or what?
why are you grasping for reasons why we shouldn't work together?
I'm not doing that.
If you're uncomfortable working with me, just come out and say so.
I am not uncomfortable working with you, Mason. That's ridiculous. Fine. Let's compare notes.
All right. Keith's evidence is circumstantial but strong, and knowing him, he's got an ace up his sleeve.
All right. What about Garvin versus Wyoming?
It's a stretch, but it might apply. Well, Victoria?
We were supposed to meet for lunch over an hour ago. I think you're just faking it.
Are you kidding?
You were limping on the other leg when we went to the car.
I was? No, you don't. When you slam me down, I mean, I'm amazed I'm even walking at all.
Are you okay?
Hi. Yes, but you have to keep an eye on the Karate Kid here. I kind of...
What happened? We had karate instruction today.
Yes, and she failed to tell me that she's a black belt. How is it you can pack so much power in that body?
But you weren't listening. It's all leverage.
Leverage, yes, of course. That's why I couldn't throw you, right?
Don't listen to him. He knew exactly what he was doing.
I'm sure he did. The only part of the police work that might give him some trouble is describing a suspect.
Oh, why do you say that?
Oh, well, I certainly wouldn't have guessed Celia by the description you gave.
Well, see, she must have changed overnight because
I'm sure his description was dead on. I was just a little nervous about fitting in with a group of almost all men, so I figured I might as well go in as plain as possible.
Yeah.
She's not the same woman, Gina, I swear to God. I mean,
Well, I felt so comfortable, I decided I might as well be myself.
Yeah, except for Captain, what was his name? Westminster or Westfield, right. I mean, he didn't know who she was because, you see, she wasn't there yesterday.
Well, I expected that. I just didn't expect we'd have as much fun.
Yeah, well, it's been a regular laugh riot,
Oh,
hasn't it?
come on. We had some laughs today. I learned a lot.
Yes, like how to decommission your partner with one easy throw.
Well, I'm sure you'll get to know each other really well, you know, training together and everything.
Well, I think that's the point of it. You know, doing these drills, you get a sense of whether you can trust your partner for physical support.
So, what's the verdict?
I feel safe.
Yeah, it feels pretty safe, too. I mean...
That's great. I'm sure the two of you will be good partners.
Well, the captain says that the most important thing with a partner is mental chemistry.
Yeah.
And I believe that Brick and I are definitely on the same wavelength.
No baby.
I know.
You're like such a fool.
No.
He said I'll never... He said I'll never...
It'll be all right.
I feel like there's nothing to live for.
Us. We can still get married.
No.
You said you love me.
I do. I don't know what kind of marriage we'd have.
We can adopt.
No. I'm going to get Brandon back. I don't want to tie you down.
What?
I know you want to have kids. I saw how happy you were when I told you.
Yes, I was happy.
So was I. He said never.
I know.
Never.
I'm sorry, Victoria. Eden asked me to defend Cruz. I got so caught up in it, I forgot
Cruz
lunch.
is being charged with Elena's death?
Not yet. It's only a matter of time before Keith has him arrested.
Well, Keith should know Cruz would never do something like that.
You know as well as I do that truth doesn't play a large part in Keith's administration of justice.
Oh, Mason, I know. I'm glad you're helping Cruz, and I'm so glad you're home.
Why don't I take you out to dinner tonight? Make up for missing lunch, huh?
Oh, good. Sounds wonderful.
Pick you up in a couple of hours.
All right.
Hello there.
Hello,
Yeah?
Cece.
Sorry.
I'll see you later.
Well, I'm glad to see you two getting along so well.
Since when did you take such an active interest in my marital bliss?
Well, I hope that none of us has forgotten your reason for marrying Victoria.
That would be difficult to do with you so anxious to remind me.
I just want to make sure that you two are getting along well. Cruz and Eden are having a difficult time as it is without anything interfering in their happiness.
Maybe we should get something clear between us, Dan. While I was away, I came to the realization that the only way to live one's life is doing what you know is right for yourself. I'm making no further attempts to please or impress you or anyone else.
Good attitude, son. Should serve you well.
Did I miss something?
What is it? Do you think you're the only one that could change your life a little bit while you were away? I hope I made some changes, too. You see, I never thought we'd get you back. And all I thought about were the fights and the arguments and the stupid disagreements we had because I wanted things my way. Well, I hope we can put that all behind us.
You know, Dad, for once in our lives, I think we might be in agreement on something.
What do you mean, for once in our lives? Come home.
You know, Keith is going to arrest me. You realize that, don't you? I mean, I've already asked Julia to help me with my defense.
I asked Meyson to defend you. I didn't even think.
I'm sure they can work it out between the two of them.
Yeah. You know, I had an idea on the way home. Since I came back to Santa Barbara, you and I haven't had a lot of time together, so I thought, what if we take a vacation? We go to an island and we make up for lost time.
An island where Keith couldn't find me?
Cruz, what's the problem? I mean, we could go away. They can't keep you from going away, at least while Julia and Meyson make sure that the charges are dropped against you.
Darla, if I run away now, who's ever going to believe I'm innocent?
I believe you're innocent. It's just not fair.
You got to put your faith in the system. Chances are they'll come up with something before I even go to trial, but if that doesn't happen, then the jury will see the light, you know? I mean, we'll get through this. We'll be together.
How long do you think it's going to be before Keith comes for you?
I don't know. But whatever time I got left, I don't want to waste it.
You know, everything in my life seems so right when we're together. I love you. Will you marry me?
I love you, too. Jake, I just got out of a marriage where I rushed into it too soon. You know, I thought I loved Ted. But there were just things that we weren't able to overcome.
Yeah, we don't have any of those problems. I mean, we've got so much in common.
I know. I need more time to get to enjoy getting to know you better, and I need more time to stand on my own 2 feet.
Well, how much time are you talking about?
I don't know. I can't put a limit on the time. I believe that when the time is right, I will know. I just don't want to feel like I'm running from one marriage to another without knowing that I can stand on my own. I love you, Jake. You are the only man in my life, and I want that. I'm just not ready to marry anyone. Please understand. You know, there was a time when I wasn't sure you would be coming back, and I had to learn to be very strong.
You were strong, Victoria. I know about some of the things you had to face alone, and I'm proud of you.
Well, you know, I'm proud of myself, too. But that doesn't change the fact that I need you, Meyson. I need to know that you're going to be there for me.
I am. I'm right where I want to be.
You really mean that, don't you?
Of course I mean it.
What is it?
Do you hear it?
What?
They're coming for you.
It's all right. It's all right. Baby, it's all right. No matter what happens tonight, you don't have to worry. I need you to be strong, darling. Your strength is what gets me through.
I don't want to lose you.
You're not gonna lose me. They can separate us in spirit. Even listen to me. They can put me in jail for a little while, but they can't separate our spirits. I belong to you, and I will be back here to hold you again. I swear. Okay?
I love you.
I love you. I love you so much.
It'll be okay.
Hi, this is Joseph Bologna of Rags to Riches. You think my 5 little girls have me wrapped around their little fingers? Watch Rags to Riches and see what they do to you.
Then Crockett and Tubbs take on a TV ministry when an evangelist's wife accuses Tubbs of rape. It's a hot Miami vice, and nobody plays by the rules on Private Eye when a porn star leads Cleary and Johnny to the underworld of Hollywood. Friday night on NBC.